Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of That Fantasy Show. I am your friendly local neighborhood YouTuber Michael Amen, joined by,
Ryan Wilczek and
Miss Ella.
and we're kicking off week 6 of an NFL season, and you know how we like to do every week, as Miss Ella will get us started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
woohoo, we got another class.
America, USA, all day. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We like to get our show started off a little bit patriotically as we welcome my young nephew onto the show too. He's suffered a little injury this week, but still wanted to be a part of the action. Welcome, Arch, to the show. Archie, how you doing, bud?
Good, bro.
You ready? Look, bro, you're on TV.
Arch is on IR right now, currently.
Okay, and we got a lot to talk about this week, Brian. You locked and loaded? We ready to go?
We're ready as we're going to be.
We're going to go over some rankings this week. We'll check in with Ella's pick six, and also we've kind of adopted, Brian, I've coined the term for this one, the coin flip six.
Coin flip 6.
So we're going to put Ella versus a coin in a matchup for the rest of the season. We'll take a look at both of their records and then see what they have for this week. And
week 6, what are we going with today? Rankings?
yeah, and then what do you say, Brian, too, this week we'll take a look at both of the fantasy leagues if we can get into the browser, and then we'll just go over some stuff. But before we get into all that, Ella, how's it going this week? Did you have a big week this week? What's going on?
Yes.
You excited to see how you're doing against the coin?
Yeah.
Who do you think would win if it was you versus a coin for the year? Do you really think that you can beat a coin? I think you can. So we're going to get locked and loaded, and we'll take a look for that. And, yeah, we'll see how Ella's doing. She's not having a bad year, Brian. Better pace than last year, if we're just being honest. And we'll,
Yeah, I'd take it.
and then, like I said, we're going to jump in and take a look at these fantasy leagues that we're in. It's kind of a make or break week. Week 6 for fantasy. It's kind of do or die for playoff positioning here, or the people that are on the fringe there. It's pretty intense week this week. So we'll take a peek in on the leagues that we
What
usually
are you thinking?
cover.
Dynasty, Family League? Where do we start today?
So we could do whatever we want. The Dynasty League is locked and loaded. There's obviously some jockeying in there. As at the end of this week, Brian, I've looked at this. There could possibly be 7 teams that are 3-3. So it leaves for a scenario where there has to be some separation at some point. So I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna have after this week, what we're gonna be up against, but we'll take a look there and see how the guys are operating their team. There's only one team really out of it. We got into that a little bit last week. There was a tank situation going on, and everybody else has still got a shot, Brian. It's wide open in that league. So excited to see.
Pull the standings in here. Give me one moment. Reorient myself.
You're good. In the drive, I actually have screenshot of the standings and the matchups for this week. And we'll be able to see how things are going. There's some pivotal matchups this week. Elyria is going against Scranton. Allenville is going against Las Vegas.
Here are the standings here.
Oh, those standings. That's pretty close right there. Like I said, there's a scenario where there could be a ton. I think 7 I counted because some of the teams obviously go against each other.
Yeah. So a lot of 3 and 2s. Got an 0-5 down there and a 4-1 on the top. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
as we mentioned, full tank mode in Dynasty. So I mean, year 3 in this league, you can't really do much if your team is stinking other than sell the team. And we had an owner go full sell mode the last couple of weeks. Literally anything and everything was on the table. I think Justin Jefferson is requesting a trade from this team.
I did see that Shefty bomb for that. So
Yeah. So
But again, so this league obviously it's cutthroat. Most people just do the regular fantasy, Brian. They're not into keeping players for multiple years. We're on year 3.
year 3 of the Dynasty League. Anybody's year except the California Wildfire there. But he's setting himself up for future years, and we'll get into some Dynasty strategy one of these days. We hint at things here and there, but yeah, we like to touch on the league. Maybe we'll jump over to the Family League. Let me pull that up in the background here.
Yeah, and then our typical redraft family league, obviously there's still pretty close scenarios in there too. Just like most leagues, nobody's pretty much out of it in, I would say, in redraft leagues. Even though 1 in whatever teams 1 in 4, you probably still got a shot.
If you're 0-5, you need a miracle. Not gonna lie, 1 and 4, slim chances, but there's you're telling me there's a chance. So
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
I need.
I think I seen 0-5. I did think I seen this set this week. There was like a 5% chance of making the playoffs. That's cool. I thought it would be lower. So 5% sounds way better than 1 or 2%. So sign me up for that if I'm 0-5. I'm not quitting yet. So hopefully if you're in a redraft league, you're still locked and loaded. There's also, when we get into the rankings, Brian, there was a couple injuries, non-starters this week. Kyler Murray's
Oh.
out, so you may be looking for a replacement for Kyler
Check
Murray.
your lineup. You got Kyler Murray going. You might be in deep water.
Yes, he's not playing today. Lamar Jackson was ruled out again Friday, so if you haven't had his situation handled, you may be looking for something there. And
was
then
he out last week too?
he was out last week. There
Who's
was a
their guy
chance
out
he
there?
could play this week.
Who's their guy out there?
So
Backup QB. What do we got going in Baltimore?
they're going with Cooper Rush.
Cooper
and,
Rush.
They didn't really look good last week, and I
Ye
can't.
old Dallas backup there, huh?
And they're a couple losses away themselves from going into full tank mode. If this injury is pretty serious, I would start staying away from all Ravens for fantasy purposes. But
Yeah. I mean, even Derrick Henry's looking kind of.
let's
He had the monster week 1, and it's been very, very disappointing since then. I think like sub double digits. We got a lot of single digit weeks out of him. You're kind of getting nervous, and we got a game going on in the background here. We got Denver, the New York Jets going at it.
I love that we've been having a
overseas
live
there.
game. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's cool,
while
you
we're
know.
doing this.
I'm sure those teams don't like going there for their fan bases, but
Yeah, the travel.
Sunday morning game. I'm not gonna.
Well, foreshadowing. This game is involved in Ella's pick 6, so hopefully she doesn't take a look over there, and we can just get a raw reaction.
Oh
to
yeah.
that. So far she's not interested.
I think
so.
we're good. All right, season standings here. It's hard to get a good look at this going straight off the browser for
Yeah.
the ESPN leagues.
And I tried to screenshot this last night to make this better for photos, but it's tough to get it all in there together. But again, this league is wide open. The draft went pretty fair in that league. There was some people that reached for some stuff. There was an accident, but most of the people ended up shaking out with a fair team in that league.
Tell you what, if you are a league commissioner, draft can be stressful. And that one kind of went off the rails there, but we corrected the course and we got through it. So
Yeah, I feel like there's always something every year. You just got to
know,
deal
it was
with
just
it.
like-
But
So anyway, I mean, we got the standings here, and I can't get like a good view of the records, but we got a blood and gore divisions here. Archie's over here trying to talk to me. What's up? What do you got? You got a light over there?
yeah, we're on TV,
You know,
bro. What's up, bro?
As you know, we're in the basement, and I have a lot of Halloween stuff. So where else do I? Where do you think I stored? In the basement. So
This is
if
like
we looked offset over here, you'd see just a mountain of boxes, and occasionally little pieces of stuff around here. And Archer's finding it. But let's look at the standings. We got the blood and gore divisions in this league.
So even the
spooky
1 and
vibes
4
all the way
team there,
around.
I believe that 1 and 4 team there still has a
Kurt's
chance.
cool team.
Just because the rest of the division, he's only 2 games out of being in that second position there. So, like I
Yeah.
said, you don't want to give up at any point just yet.
This is hard.
And
to,
even later, I'm not the type to give up. I'm trying to spoil it for people there. But that
Yeah,
other
you know.
half of the division, that one's pretty clogged up too.
I gotta do a little.
I
fancy
find
work
myself
here
in
the
that division, and
background.
I'm having a pretty good season, but I'm in 5th place in that division. So there's definitely some
Here's
there's
the other
definitely
side.
some talent in there. And
Yeah, we got 5-0, tortured coaches department, strong start to the season. We got an 0-5 team there, as you mentioned. But
yeah. So again, that team was in the playoffs last year. So
Mhm.
it just goes to show year to year you could change where you're at for the good, or it
Yeah.
could be for the worse. So you can't just think you were good one year and it equates to being good the next year.
yeah, we'll get some graphics going for those in the future, so we're not so clunky with the browser there. But
And most
I
of
don't know.
those,
We figure it out as we go.
the
Not
waiver
too worried
wire
about
and
it.
most of those looks pretty standard too. Running
Well, yeah.
backs thin,
Well,
quarterbacks
12-man
pretty
league.
thin.
It's kind of if you've been in a 12-person league before, there certain positions are like a desert out there. So
Yeah.
if you didn't hop on somebody early before everyone else is, you're not getting them. So
Yeah, it's best at this point of the year to be looking for injury replacements. So, if there's a guy that's performing well, maybe look for his backup. That's your best bet on the waiver wires right now. But yeah, and then we can even get into that when we switch over to some rankings. Just it'll show in that league or the rankings. It shows some people that are still available in the Closing with Steve league. and that's a dynasty league, pretty cutthroat. If there's some people available in there, they got through quite a few smart guys, and again, the rankings that we do, they're pretty fair. We agree with a lot of things. There's some spots where Brian and I disagree. Maybe we would go one way as opposed to another. But again, Kyler Murray was out this week, so that's a situation where last minute news too, because I knew he was questionable for this week, but I didn't quite know he was gonna not play. A lot of the things were pointing towards he was playing, but so yeah, that was kind of shocking to wake up to this morning.
Yeah, so you got to be on your toes. Even, I mean, there's a game going on, and you might have missed something if you weren't up early or late last night trying to see what's going on. So don't forget to check your teams.
Yeah,
Keep
it's your
on
responsibility. Nobody's going to do it for you.
checking. Yeah,
but,
that's right. And all right, let's get into our usual weekly rankings. We're starting off with defense, special teams. I'd like to touch on these. I mean, kind of your usual cast up here with the Eagles, Broncos, Steelers. The Eagles kind of, I don't know, man, that Thursday game, Dart looks like the real deal out there. We got
He did.
Scatabo. We got a rookie combo. Just hammering it home.
That
there.
guy is a ball of energy. How about that? That was kind of fun to
I don't
watch
know.
too. And then I was weary of this game. I thought the Giants could win, but for fantasy purposes, obviously, we all agreed that Philadelphia, that was a good matchup. Rookie
Yeah,
quarterback.
You start Philly. I don't know. I mean, you might be nervous in Philly now.
But
There's a big dog in town.
so they put up
Giants,
2 points for the week. So that just goes to show sometimes the rankings are there. These things just don't shake out the way it's supposed to. But again, no need to spend too much time on the defense here because these are just going to be standard. You're getting 2 to 8 points from a defense. If you get anything
Yeah.
more than that, you're pretty lucky. So.
Yeah. Just play the matchup. Sometimes they won't go your way, obviously, from that Thursday
Yeah,
game.
and then don't drop nobody good. You can handle one bad week. I wouldn't
Yeah.
keep defenses that are
I
having
wouldn't-
multiple
yeah,
bad weeks.
I wouldn't
but,
raise the alarm yet or sound the alarm. We don't
Yeah.
raise alarms here. We sound them.
don't
I
even
wouldn't
know
sound
how
the
you-
alarm on the Eagles, but I don't know.
It's
I
getting
would be
sticky
nervous.
over there.
I'd be a little nervous.
Getting sticky.
Things are looking rough.
Well, since you switched over to kickers here, again, these are pretty typical, but some of the people on the bottom of this list here, those guys are available in the Closing with Steve League, so it just goes to show
Yeah.
there's still always waiver wire kickers available. Nobody really keeps 2 quality fantasy players. You don't keep 2 kickers.
Right.
You
Even Aubrey, he's the top ranked guy week after week, and he's not putting up the most numbers every week. So
yeah, so again, kickers pretty fair. If you got one of these guys though, you're in for a good matchup.
oh boy.
And then
Screen's
yeah,
doing
so
something
so
funky.
these changed a little bit because like I said, we got some feedback and I could make the words and the letters bigger for some of the rankings. So we've adjusted that this week. We just gotta fit it on the screen a little better. But I am excited. Where was that going? That was going straight to the quarterbacks though.
Straight to quarterback.
Okay,
so we
because
got
let me pull quarterbacks up on my screen
QB
here.
rankings
Oh,
here.
wow.
So you got a little usual guy up top there, and Josh Allen, and followed by a few more of those names. But
And,
yeah, Jalen Hurts. Oh, he
Yeah.
was up there. So if you started him, you might not be the happiest guy in the world. But Drake May, he's sticking up there.
How about that? Good for that young fella
Yeah.
right there.
Mayfield breaking into the top 10. This happens every year. Baker's underrated to start the year, and he's just like, I'm a dog, and take me seriously.
MVP candidate they're talking about. Even Dak right there behind him. Guys mentioned in MVP breath right now. You wouldn't really have said that last year. Just
Well,
goes to
he
show
was out for
you
a
can
little
change
stint
your
there.
narrative about you. But I'll tell you who I like on this list right here, Brian. We're going to foreshadow as later on today we have our betting special where we're going to bring in an old friend of the show, D-Rocks Locks, and John Stockton. And I like Mahomes' matchup today. But the betting show, we're going to be talking about that Lions and Chiefs matchup. And the Lions secondary, there's some questions right now. I'm not going to pile on or nothing, but Mahomes is
what's,
playing well.
What's
And
going on with Terrion Arnold? Is he was looking like he might have been out for a long time. The injury wasn't as bad as they were saying, and I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, we're gonna
Keep
take
an
a
eye
look at
on
that. But
that.
I like that Mahomes matchup today. Jaden Daniels, I like that matchup. Last year he performed well against Chicago and when he was having his coming out party. So anybody on this list right here, I'm very comfortable starting, playing, and I wouldn't bench any of them in any scenario. Even Hurts pregame, obviously Thursday already happened. I would have still rolled with Hurts.
I'm not as high on the Chiefs. I think the Lions can handle it. I might be a little biased if you can't tell.
You might be, but I mean the Lions could easily win that game. But for fantasy purposes, you could still get a lot of points out of Mahomes there.
Homie. All right.
The QBs, I got a couple lists for this. So because of the Murray injury, so this is like the mid ranking level of the quarterbacks. Again, Jordan Love is available in that Closing with Steve league. that was probably just a roster casualty because you know who you're
Yeah.
gonna drop.
Well, some of these dudes, if they're still out there, go grab them. I mean, Jones and Stafford were, waivers there for a while, but probably been gobbled up by most leagues.
All of these guys should be rostered in leagues. Nobody should be on the bench here.
It's not bad to have a backup because things do happen.
And yet none of these matchups really stick out to me. These all seem pretty fair. You're going to get 15 to 20 if you're lucky out of these guys. Anything more than 20, that's pretty good week. Caleb Williams, that could go either way for me. Sometimes I get excited, because like they tell you about that Ben Johnson offense and this and that. So, I feel like he's going to have a week one week where he just shocks everybody, and that could be a 3-4 touchdown week. Is it this week? I don't know, but I wouldn't bench him in any scenario. If I had any of these guys, I wouldn't bench them over anybody unless they were in that top tier. But then when we get to this next tier, Brian, that's where if you had Kyler Murray, this is your options. So I woke up myself in another league, not in this league, but because the other league I'm pretty set in there. I got Baker Mayfield rolling, but these were some of my options this morning
Dude,
for
if you threw
replacing
Jackson
Kyler
Dart
Murray.
out there, man, good on you. 'Cause,
So-
he did pretty well there on Thursday. So
Phenomenal game. That kid got 23 points, I believe, that night, and that's great for fantasy terms. For me, I picked up Mac Jones.
Jones, I would have picked Trevor Lawrence. He had a good outing there last week, and he's got a little.
Well, so he wasn't available in the first and goal league.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
these
So if you're in
are
the dynasty, you can
yeah.
get
This
him
is
first and
linked
goal.
in for the dynasty league
Oh,
here.
first and goal.
So
I think
man.
Allie picked Lawrence last week.
So
on
it was
waivers.
slim pickings I had to pick from:
Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones, Geno Smith, Michael Penix, Spencer
Yeah.
Rattler. I'm not starting any of those guys except Mac Jones.
I would have
gotta do
picked
it.
up Jones in that scenario because
Yeah.
he had a good week, so could do it again.
He had a good week. We're just gonna roll with it there.
Let's roll with it.
Nothing else I can do as we move on to running
Speaking
backs
of those
here.
49ers, we got one on top there. Christian McCaffrey. People were weary on him this year.
He's holding up.
Kind of fell down in most drafts, late first round. If you picked him up, you're happy though because you might have passed on some of the bigger names.
He's holding up, and
Yeah,
without
missed out on
receivers
those
there,
big names. Yeah, a couple of receivers are out. Some top 10
so he's
things going down from the original drafts. So, but yeah, McCaffrey, man, he's just doing
getting
things.
all the work there too.
Another
And
guy, Jonathan Taylor, been putting up big numbers.
huge numbers. Jonathan Taylor minus 320 for a touchdown today on odds. That's insane. That's almost like they're guaranteeing that this dude's going to score a touchdown today.
Well, bet the
I
other-
don't
bet the other way.
disagree, but I don't know if I'm going to bet that. Anyway, these are the usual suspects right here. This was a lot of how the top of the draft went right here. So again, if this is your RB1, you probably drafted them first before receiver. Maybe you got Taylor a little later, but yeah, good to go. These guys are rolling. I like all the matchups. Obviously, Barkley already went, but
Smoke him if you got him.
I like those matchups. This is the second tier here.
Still solid. You got these guys. You're starting them at least RB2 at a minimum. They might be your RB1. You still feel okay about that.
And two rookies on this list, Brian. Genty and Judkins. So,
Genty.
these guys are coming out their shell. And this is about the time we talked about in the beginning of the year. The rookie running backs, they're not popping off right away.
No,
Week one.
favorable
week two.
matchup there for Genty. You might be able to,
I love that matchup
yeah,
right there.
that's a good one. Judkins is a little tougher, but dude's been pretty
He's
consistent.
had
in
a crazy last
low
2
teens,
weeks.
like upper teen weeks. He's been consistent with fantasy.
The stock is up for him.
Yeah.
Etienne obviously having a bounce back season after last year. Got a little shifty there.
Etienne,
Again, the mid-level.
we don't know.
There's quite a few of these running back slots here too.
Another rookie on the rise there, Krosky Merritt.
Yeah, obviously
been-
he's getting a lot
He's
of
looking
work.
like the dude out there.
Absolutely. Touchdown dependent in an offense that can move the ball, put up points. And they still haven't even looked as good as they can look yet. So,
Yeah, and then towards the bottom of the list there, Michael Carter. If you're aware, homie's out in Arizona, so there's a little bit of a running back spot open, and it looks like Carter's going to be the guy because the other dude, one of those premature celebrations. So let me just flip this ball away. We're
let me
screwed.
just drop this
There
ball.
was two last week, right? We had the running back one, and there was a receiver one too. I
Just
don't know.
hold the ball, cross
Yeah.
the goal line, hold the ball, give it to the ref, keep this game moving.
Could you imagine going from
Uh,
walk-in touchdown to touchback? You turn the ball over.
well,
bro.
and then shout out to Amari DiMercato. Hopefully he bounces back from that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like I said, I've been a fan of Daniel Jones the last couple of years because people have been piling on the dude, and sometimes it's warranted, and sometimes it's just a little too extra to where like just simps and regulars are just piling on for no reason. Same reason I'm wearing my Let Russ Cook jersey today. I watched that game Thursday, Brian. Russell Wilson came in for one play, and they booed his ass off the field. Like, okay.
They had the memes of the coaches are going in there to get Dart out of the tent.
Yeah,
like, hey,
and okay, I get it. Russ may not be playing up to par right now, but that's a future Hall of Famer right there. And if it wasn't for a terrible play call, he's a two-time Super Bowl champion.
Guaranteed Hall of Fame on Russell Wilson?
I wouldn't say it's guaranteed.
He's kind of
but he
tarnished
could
his
get
career a
it.
little
So
bit
you
in
get
those
a
last
Super
few
Bowl
years.
championship. That puts you knocking on the door. And then if you look at his stats, they're in top 15 of QB stats overall. So it's an arguable case. Is he first ballot? Nope.
I'm gonna put it on the under for that one. I don't think he gets in. That's just me. I mean, he did have the Super Bowl.
Well, that may take
could
us.
have got two, but I mean, it was a couple good years. I don't know. Called a hot streak.
He had a nice run, and he almost a two-time Super Bowl champion.
Almost.
But so yeah, we'll see what happens there.
We'll
but
see
again, they're just piling on too much. Let Russ cook, man. I mean, the guy's not coming out. He's not an asshole. He's just like
we're all people out here.
He's like a good Christian guy. He's doing the right things. Never really like treating people bad. Like so, yeah. I'm gonna support Russ a little bit.
Yeah. Take it easy out there in New York. You don't know.
Yeah, back off. Sheesh.
Chill, guys.
Anyway, moving on here. This is the lower tier.
Yeah.
Running back rankings.
I don't know. Montgomery's a pretty good dice roll because he could do anything. So could Stevenson.
I'd start one of these guys. I'd start.
Man, I don't know. Seattle, you got Walker out there taking most of the work. Haskins is that's a huge question mark. What's going to happen over there in L.A.?
So, yeah, there's two running backs out there.
Yeah.
So you got to pick from who's going to get the work. And I actually disagree. I think Kamani Vidal is going to get more of the work than Haskins. But, we're going to have to wait and see there.
People are playing the Michigan card, and that might be why the ranking's a little higher. But, I don't buy it either. I mean, Haskins, I'm not much of a pass catcher, so that doesn't help you in
So
PPR.
I'm looking for Kamani Vidal. If you guys picked up Haskins, good luck. But I'd start one of these guys if I have to. But again, these are guys that it's up or down. You might get 15 out of these guys. You might get 3. And if I get 3, I'm not happy.
Yeah, it could be one of those points in the league where you pick up one of these guys and they're a dog. It's going to help you down the stretch. So keep an eye out for those Arizona and L.A. Charger running backs because one of them might stick around. You don't know.
One of them's going to stick.
Could help you out.
And then I got another level here. Like I said, there's Vidal showing up later there. And then this is if, obviously, you have some injury concerns. And there's bye weeks. We're getting into the bye weeks every week.
Running backs
too,
in Chief Kingdom have not been it. I mean, Hunt, a couple touchdowns last week. But if you had Pacheco was probably consensusly ranked ahead of him.
And it's tough to start a Chiefs running back.
Yeah.
They just don't get enough volume. They're touchdown dependent. Other than that, they're not going to see volume. If you want to bet them in prop bets here and there, I know sometimes Hunt's receiving yards is a popular bet, or Pacheco's low rushing yards is popular.
Yeah,
but
Pacheco just hasn't been it since he came back from the leg break.
Yeah, these guys, they're not just going to get 100 yards and multiple touchdowns. But if you got to start one of these guys, I'd start a younger guy, or these are guys I would stash and wait for an injury. If Henry isn't going to finish the season in Baltimore, Justice Hill, I'm ready to start him. And then again, whoever sticks out in the Chargers, I want to be in on one of those guys. Again, that was running back. So I got one last level here.
Crap.
Man, I was firing away on the graphics last night. Pew, pew, pew.
Screenshot.
So, I'm not excited about any of these guys. Obviously, I have DeMercado there, but these are guys that are still stashable guys, situational. You could use them in a bye week. If an injury happens, they could get something. These guys should just be on your radar.
Yeah. If you're starting one of these guys,
you may not be winning this week, but these guys should be on your radar because they could be next man up. We've seen an injury every week. We're going to talk about an injury next week, too.
I threw it away. We're on to tight ends. I can't take it anymore. Too deep.
Yeah. Well, so this position, obviously, we're not the biggest fans of this position. It's pretty stale.
If you got a good one, you're a fan, right?
Yeah. Well, if you have Ferguson right now, he's clear-cut number 1 tight end. He leads by 20 points over second place in total points for the season.
Yeah, Bauer's looking like he's on the shelf for a little while. Not sure his status for today. Out last week. So
pretty thick for some of this. Again, plug and play. You got a good name. Just go ahead and trust it. Mm-hmm. Tight ends are touchdown dependent. Hopefully they get you more than 5 targets. You can get 3 or 4 catches. That's pretty decent for these.
Yeah,
but
very trendy this year in the tight end category, unless you got one of those top guys.
And then these are the usual suspects. Now this is where the mid tight end. So There's available guys. This is where you're going to have to trust some guys, take a chance on some
What about
guys.
Joku jumping over some people last week? You catch that?
Oh my God, that was sweet. Definitely love a good hurdle. Theo Johnson, that play obviously went already. Kyle Pitts, always on this list. When's he going to have a breakout year? He's actually not having a terrible year,
No, he's doing all right.
but nothing memorable.
Yeah, I got
Nothing
another
exotic.
familiar name up there, Darren Waller. He's been pretty solid 2 weeks with Miami, and with Hill out, who else do you throw to?
It's a great pickup,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
A veteran, big target in the red zone too. You can't go wrong there.
Can't
So,
go wrong.
again, if you were able to pick him up and you were crafty on the waiver wire, that could ride you to the playoffs in a championship season, possibly.
Hey.
You got to stick to the waiver wire. You should be picking up someone every
I got
week.
Darren Waller on Dynasty. What are you trying to say?
You're on your way.
On my way.
But just saying, everybody should be navigating the waiver wire every week. There's someone on your team not performing. Get rid of him. Pick someone up. You
Yeah,
don't
if you're
wanna
not
just
playing the
stand pat.
waivers, chances are you're not going to win the league.
Yeah, you just made a donation to the champion, so thank you for that. If you got to start one of those tight ends, be weary. You got to start one of these tight ends. Michael Mayer is a guy I would take a shot on. As Brian said, Bowers, we don't really know. And Mayer's in year
Mayer's
3.
solid dude, yeah. I mean,
So-
he was pretty high up there in the rookie rankings when he came out, Notre Dame over there. So
And these
I don't know.
guys, most of these guys are touchdown dependent. I actually like AJ Barner too. He's getting a lot of looks there in Seattle. I think he had a touchdown that got called back last week as well. I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that. I think he actually scored one too. But that's a name that I like. That's a guy I would stash if you have room in your leagues. You just want to be on the lookout there.
let's round it out with receivers.
Cream of the crop.
Always exciting.
Guys having the best year. Puka Nakua.
Polka going for that receiving all-time season
He's like-
leading record.
Averaging like 9 catches a game almost. Like almost 90 yards a game. Like
Out of control.
it's insane. And he gets a lot of work. The guy's good. He's talented. He gets open. He's got a
But it's
Hall
not
of
like
Fame
he's only-
quarterback.
He's not the only dude on the team. His teammate right there, Devontae Adams, he's doing solid too.
Absolutely.
Also in the top 10 rankings. It's not like he's just getting fed because there's nobody around.
And then
They're just
speaking,
slanging the ball over
I just
there.
threw that term out there again for Mr. Stafford, Hall of Fame quarterback. Does that stick for him too? Stafford and
Fame?
Russ, they both got one chip. We have to look into the
I
stats.
don't know. I
on
would
that.
give Stafford the edge on
I
that.
think
He's
they're
got a
both
few record associations with the Calvin Johnson years, the
Absolutely.
Cooper Cup
No, they're
Triple
both.
Crown, and then this Puka thing. I mean, he's a common factor and a lot of success with receivers. Yeah, he had to dog it out in Detroit.
So there's no argument for Stafford for him, but you need convincing for Russ.
I need convincing for Russ. Stafford, I eventually, not a first ballot. I
For
don't
me,
think.
I'm a no doubter for both. But
Eventually.
again, first ballot is pretty tough. But these guys get in later, and a lot of people think the qualifications are insane for Hall of Fame. It's not. It's not that bad.
It's not the WWE Hall of Fame.
A championship helps, and you need some other stuff. But again, this is some of the usual suspects here, and then there's some young guys here. Odunze and Ibuka right there, just 2 young guys. You probably got these guys picked up in round 6 or later in most leagues. So if you have these guys and you finagle them, Pickens, you probably got him in round 3 or 4. Great moves. This is tier 2.
Tier 2, but your consensus one
receivers.
from the beginning of the year, Jamar Chase.
And-
Man, so dependent on Burrow down there. That O-line, man, I don't know.
And Browning wasn't necessarily getting some work. Now Chase had a good week last week, but that doesn't. You don't look good until you see what happens here in the future. They got Joe Flacco.
Another rookie on the list here, McMillan.
McMillan making an appearance there.
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
Big body.
He needs to take out a life insurance policy.
Yeah,
Very
well,
hefty one.
we're gonna see what happens there. Hopefully they can get the ball spread around more. But again, there's some young guys on this list.
Some old names here too. Diggs making a resurgence over with the Drake May show.
Excellent week last week too for Stephon Diggs. So if you got him this week, that's a good matchup. Wilson, obviously that game's
Holy
going on
crap.
right
Jets
now.
have 32 total yards at halftime.
And that does
Oh,
not
my
look
goodness.
good. And Mr. Wilson, obviously, on that list. Sorry if you got him. It doesn't look good
Got to
over
take
here.
that Broncos
in
defense
London. We got
seriously.
a game going on in London, and it doesn't look good for the Jets.
Oh boy.
Tier 3 of these receivers, Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't quite had a breakout game yet. I kind of look for that today, home against Seattle. Seattle's been involved in shootouts. They can put some points up, but they give up a little bit. They got a decent secondary, but
Yeah, I mean, I think Jacksonville is on the rise.
Yeah.
So yeah.
a big upset last week of the Chiefs. I also like Ladd McConkey this week. He's starting to find his footing a little more. I know earlier in the season they were going to Johnson a lot, and Keenan Allen's getting a lot of work as he makes an appearance on this list. But I like McConkey to just find his footing. He's kind of touchdown dependent himself,
Yeah.
but he does get a lot of targets. Sometimes it's those little short running back kind of type
Yeah.
targets. But
Miami's not the best team this year, so
yeah, you can put up points on that defense. So
if you're waiting to stick him in there, maybe this is the week.
DK Metcalf, I'm not necessarily excited about that. I mean, you're going to put him there because of the name and who he is, but that Browns defense.
DK, have it your way. Remix.
But yeah, that Browns defense is tough. I'm not excited if I have to start Metcalf today. It is a home game, that helps, but could be wrong about that. On this list, there's some guys I like on this list right here, though. I'm more excited about this tier than the previous
Really?
tier. Yeah, because I like Dobbs. The last time we seen Dobbs, he was touchdown dependent. He got a couple touchdowns. He's a popular target for Love. He's coming back this week for a nice full week. Robinson got a lot of work. That game obviously happened. And Smith there. But Harrison.
Yeah, if you had Wandale and you didn't start him, you're a little upset. Devonta Smith, though, I think he was only like 3 catches or something.
Yeah.
You're kind of disappointed. I don't know. They got to do something in Philly because that ain't it.
Yeah. And like I said, I like Harrison just because with
Just because he's
the
from that one
backup-
school.
I do like that. He's a Buckeye, but the backup coming in, obviously he's going to look to someone who's more, big target, kind of established. I just feel like Brissett, if he's going to throw to somebody, the targets are going to go to Harrison Jr. I feel like he has a decent week this week. Again, there's more tiers of receiver here just because we went a little deeper. This is the lower tier. Kendrick Bourne had an insane week last
Quentin
week.
Johnson is just dropping like a rock. What's up with that? He was like the dude over there with the Chargers. But yeah, looks like Allen and McConkey, they're thinking they're going to surpass him here finally. So.
Yeah, they're starting to spread the ball around more there. So, again, you got to start any of these guys. You're kind of touchdown dependent. Some of these guys are down just because of injuries at their quarterback. But, we'll see what happens here. Like I said, I'm not the most excited about this tier, but you can find some work here.
Gosh,
if you got
there's
to.
another tier.
And
We're
then,
going
I
deep
think
now.
this is the last tier because, again, bye weeks and injury. If you got to start one of these guys, I'm not really excited. I would probably take.
Some of the usual waiver flyers from last year, Tucker, Downs.
Yeah, Coleman, I'm not, shying away from that. If I got to, I'd start him. I'd
Yeah, I
probably
would-
start Coleman and Tucker out of these right
I'd
away.
probably start him over the last page, Coleman, honestly. I think he's starting to, the athleticism showing, and, they'll put up some 50-50 balls for him. And I don't know, something's got to give over there. And Coleman's going to, I think he'll establish himself. That's the guy.
Absolutely. So that's about it for receivers there.
Yeah.
Again, if you got to start any of these guys, you're probably in some deep water. You might be tanking anyway, too.
You got
So,
your coin handy?
So I don't have a coin, but I do have graphics set up. If we want to get Ella down here, we'll take a look at Ella's pick 6 and the coin flip 6.
Coin flips.
And that little coin app was cool, and it was easier to go back and watch and see what happened in there. But does it make that cool sound?
That's a new one. I'm just
Whoa.
trying to tee one up in the background.
No,
That's
that
pretty
one was cool. We need that. Let's run with that. But Ella and the coin, they're off to a good start. They're finally even. They've both picked the same amount of games. Ella missed a week. The coin missed a week. We all missed a week. So they've both picked out of 18 games. Somebody is in the league. We'll take a look at that graphic when we get Ella down here. But once we get into that, I'm excited to see Ella's picks for this week. Obviously, we're going to pick out of that Lions-Chiefs game. I have Ella picking in this game that's happening right now. Obviously, that game's at halftime now, so she likely won't see the score. She doesn't know what's going on right now. But we'll see what she thinks in that game. And as she makes her way to the set. Hello, my sweetie. Come on. We're ready for Ella's Pick 6. A lot of people's favorite part of the show, Brian.
Yeah.
Tune in, see
Tuning
the little
in for
girl
Ella.
picks. What's she
Gotta
going to do?
Do a couple things here on the scene.
Hey, babe. Okay, tell the people how's it going this week.
How's it going, Ella?
Oh, you gotta get all the way situated. We're getting microphoned up, headphoned up.
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, you enjoying spooky season right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your costume gonna be for this year? You want to tell the people?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be, so it's like kind of, I'm like a witch, but like my
Like a
mom
witch.
and me say that, I'm Sarah Sampson's daughter. that I'm Sarah Sanderson's daughter.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
From Hocus Pocus, classic Halloween movie.
Focus, focus.
Yeah,
I need
Ella,
mine to
so
focus.
Here's
All
the
right.
records right now. Brian, go ahead and take a look at what we got.
All right, we got Ella's pick 6 coming in at a 10-8 record. 1 game ahead of the coin flipping Flipperman. Yeah, Ella.
Ella, that means you're winning. You're beating a coin.
Gotta beat that coin, Ella.
Kick that
All
coin's
right.
butt.
Gotta lock in.
Okay,
All right,
Ella,
what are
you
we
ready?
picking here?
Let's get started this week.
Ooh.
Who we got and who do you got?
The Jets and the Broncos. And the Jets and the Broncos. I like, again, from last week, I like both teams.
This
Very-
game's going on right now, halftime. Ella
Yeah.
doesn't know the score, but
You didn't even know it's going on right now,
Yep.
and we're watching it.
it's
Somebody's
at a commercial,
winning,
so we're not cheating here, all right?
but Ella doesn't know. So let's just see what you think before they come back from commercial.
Oh, we got another guest picker in here. It's Big Arch. Yay.
Welcome back to the show. Arch is going to help Ella out with her picks. Okay, Ella, who do you
Who do we
think?
got?
You're going to have to pick a winner in this game, and we'll keep
Um,
it moving. And then we'll see what the coins got.
Okay, both teams are very creative, but the Broncos.
Broncos. Okay, we're going to go with the Broncos. Let's see what that pesky coin has. Arch, you going to help with the coin?
I think we'll do the coin at the end all at once.
Okay.
It'll work better with the graphics.
Good idea. Okay, Ella, who do you got here, and what do you like?
The Dolphins and the Lightning Bolts.
The Bolts.
And again, I like both teams. They're very creative. I like their logos. But I'm going to have to go with the Lightning Bolts.
Still like
Okay, go Chargers, go. Okay. Okay, what you got?
The Steelers and
The Cleveland Brownies.
the Brownies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
go
Browns.
Pittsburgh.
Okay, well, what you think?
No question even asked. The
The Browns.
Brownies.
Okay,
The
we're going with the
Brownies.
Browns. So Browns, Chargers. I forget the first
Take
one.
the
We'll
helmets
take a
over
look.
the Steelers. Well, let's take a look back. We had
Oh, Broncos. Yeah. Okay. All
got the
right, Ella, we're
Horsies.
rolling.
the Lightning Bolts. Sticking to the left side today.
Yeah, the Browns. Okay, Ella, what you got next?
right.
We got the
The SFs.
the Pirates. The Pirate
Okay.
Flags
Pirate
and
flags.
the
Yeah, we got a
SFs.
pirate ship over here in the background.
So this one is the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa
The
Bay
49ers.
Buccaneers. What you think when you see this? Who do you want to pick?
49ers.
Let's roll with it. Everybody on the left side.
Hey,
Okay.
left side is going in strong there.
Okay, Ella's pick 6 as we move on to the next game. Ella, what do you...
There's the pirate ship.
the pirate ship. It's
Archie's
on
making
TV,
a-
Arch.
See? Proof we're in the basement. Where's Arch at? There's the good leg. There's the bad leg. There's the pirate ship.
Let's go. Locked in on the kid cam.
Yeah, the kid cam.
Pirates on the TV, pirate ship.
Pirate ship. We do it big
Okay.
here at the Wilczek house. All right, let's see what we got going on
Okay,
next.
game number 5 for Ella.
5. Who we picking?
Mm,
Ooh, another favorite over here.
The Bengals and the G's.
The G's.
Real G's. That's the
Straight
Green
up
Bay
G.
Packers for those that don't know. What you like, babe?
No questions asked. Bengals.
Who they think
They
gonna
don't
beat
beat
them
them
Bengals?
Bengals.
Nobody.
I
Okay.
beg to differ. All right.
Okay. Game 6.
Ooh,
What
another
you
fun
got
one.
here, babe? This is a tough one. Tell the people how tough it is.
Holy crap, my ears just blew out there, Ella. It's all good. Chill out with the mic. But we got the...
The Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who you got?
Sorry, Lions. Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh my gosh! This is a
not-
travesty.
Not the most
You get-
popular
you get
around
beat
here.
With the Lions.
Ow!
But we'll see what happens. And then the next slide, Brian, that's just all 6 together. We could do
All
that, and then we
6
can look at the
together.
coin flips for that
Oh,
or
boy.
whatever.
You don't want to see
So
that.
Ella had the Broncos, the Chargers, the Browns, the 49ers, the Bengals, but then she took one home team, Brian, and she went ahead and took the Chiefs. So we'll see how
You
Ella
didn't like
does
the left
this
side
week.
for the homeboys? Man.
Yeah, she had to
Alright.
she had to take one that wasn't that. But let's see what happens with this pesky coin.
Yeah, pesky coin. Let's
Ella
get it teed up
versus a
here.
coin.
Ella versus a coin.
Say, I'm gonna get you, you stinking coin.
What are we doing with the coin? Are we doing
So we were doing heads were the road team, tails were the home team. I don't know. It was just that's what
heads
we've
left,
done so
tails
far.
right? Heads road, tails home.
Yeah. So you could just do it like that. We'll just see
Okay.
whatever happens and see what the coin does.
You got the graphic up in the background? Maybe we need the paper today. Write it down so we don't get screwed up.
I got the graphic right here. We can just go right off of this.
Here, take that.
Okay, let's see what this pesky coin is going to do today.
All right, I will hail you a ride. Archer needs a lift upstairs. Anybody watching?
Yeah, Ella didn't have to go yet. I don't know what was happening, but
I don't know. She saw the coin, said,
she said, "Man, I do not like this coin. I'm up out of here."
I'm going to head out.
Anyway, what we got with this coin? Okay, we're going Broncos Jets. What we got?
Broncos
Heads,
Jets.
tails.
So Broncos heads, Jets tails. Let's see. Let's get a little ding with the coin. Woohoo. Dang, that thing flips forever.
Okay, they
Jets.
went there. Okay, let's go Chargers and Dolphins.
Chargers, Dolphins. Heads, Chargers, tails, Dolphins. What do we got?
Dun, dun, dun.
Chargers.
Okay, we're going Browns and Steelers. What you got, coin?
Heads, Browns, tails, Steelers.
Okay, we can get this thing rolling now that we're doing this.
Browns.
Okay, Browns. And then we got 49ers and we got Buccaneers.
49ers, Buccaneers.
Let's go, pesky coin. What you got?
49ers.
So far agreeing with Ella. They're not going to have too much differences this week. We're going to go Cincinnati and Green Bay next. What we got? This pesky coin has heads.
Cincinnati.
Let's go. Who they think
Archer's
gonna beat
getting anxious
them
down
coins?
here.
We need a ride. Beep, 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 beep. Can we get
Beep,
a
beep.
ride for Archer?
All right. We're down to the Lions, Chiefs.
Okay, let's go Detroit and
Come
KC.
on,
This
come
pesky
on.
coin. What you got? What you got?
We're down
Heads.
the
They like
field.
the Lions. So they did the same thing. 4 road teams or 5 road teams and one of the home teams.
Yeah,
So
so,
we'll revisit that later. And
yeah, we'll see
what
how
they
that
got.
shakes out there for Ella and the coin.
But that's pretty fun. But anyway, outside of that,
What do
Brian,
we got left going
the only thing I
on?
got left, we're gonna preview later on. We got a big 4 p.m. special, 4-ish
betting
p.m.
special on the show. 4-ish.
Bringing in
gonna-
an old friend of the show, D
I
Rock
guess
Locks.
I'm Arch's ride upstairs, so
So I'll just
be right
preview
back.
this show real quick. So we're going to do a betting special that focuses on the primetime game this week. The Sunday night NFL game of the week is the Lions at the Chiefs. And we're going to have a ton of information, specific things you need to bet on. We'll go over some fantasy implications for that too. But you're going to want to tune in, be locked and loaded to see everything that our betting expert D-Rock has to bet on. Also, John Stockton, take a look at his picks. And we're going to do a little group parlay where you'll be able to sit here and have a little fun. Maybe all of us together can cook up something and we can sit here and win some money. Obviously, we do fantasy a lot on this show, but who doesn't want to make a little bit of money? So that's a good situation. You're going to want to check out that show, and we'll get some graphics up previewing that. And then I got some touchdown guys I want to go over. We'll sit here with Brian and pick his brain, see what he thinks about some anytime touchdown guys. But again, that 4 o'clock special, that's where we'll focus a lot on that primetime game, and we'll even check some of the other sports, because a lot of times people, you can't just bet on football. It's only one day a week.
Yeah, sports.
So sometimes take a look at some other things that D-Rock does to bet on. But we'll just throw up this in the betting slide real quick if you can get that one set up. There's just some touchdown guys I just want to go over. These are guys that I like today. One of them's playing right now. Hopefully that shakes out. If not, oh well, I made this graphic last night. So, but again, guys that I like to score today. And then I was saying later on when we get to the betting special, there's going to be some things, a lot of stuff that people are on. You're going to want to tune in. Like I said, I want to win some money. Who doesn't want to win some money? And
Yeah.
you want some educated
money.
research to help get you this money. You don't want to just be throwing darts.
Yeah, so we're covering our bases. Just trying to reach out to the most people out here. So, we got
So
the
these are
betting
guys I
advocates.
like today. J.K. Dobbins, this game is going on right
So
now.
touchdown scorers, anytime touchdown
Just
scorers.
touchdown guys to score. I didn't dig too deep into anything else because we're obviously going to have a betting special later. But so I like Judkins today.
Okay.
Goal line work. I feel like he's the guy that would get in there. And obviously the odds aren't that bad. You can still get that at plus money. I spoke about Dobbs earlier.
Yeah, longest odds there.
He got some work. I think in the last game we saw him, he got 2 touchdowns. He's coming
Okay.
back from an injury like that. And Buka, right here, obviously the darling of the fantasy season right now.
Yeah.
But
He's up there in the first page of the wide receiver rankings if you missed it.
and there's no Evans this week, and there's no Godwin this week. So who's the top target guy there? Boom, it's Mbuka, and he's found the end zone a few times this year.
Wow.
And then this is a pick later. Obviously, we'll get into this a little more in that betting special that we were talking about. But I love Xavier Worthy tonight. This is like my crown jewel of the weekend. I was on this when it didn't hit last week for this week. I'll have more stats for this later to back it up, but that's something that I like for this week, Brian.
Like
if you disagree
in it
with
to
any of
win it.
these, I don't know. But
I don't know. Dobbs makes me nervous just because I don't know, that's hit or miss pretty much any week. But yeah, Buka, got to give you that one. Judkins, maybe. I don't know. Pittsburgh, kind of solid defense out there. Worthy, yeah, that might happen.
yeah,
So,
and again, just guys I like, just going with the flow, seeing what's happening
yeah,
right
I
there.
don't know. Did Dobbs get a touchdown yet? That game's going on.
So I don't think he has
So,
a touchdown.
if
I
you're-
know the backup tight end
If
got
you're
a touchdown.
if you're tuning in now and you want to bet Dobbins, you're a little late to the party, but you get that.
The odds are
in-game-
probably much better, and I kind of like it better in the second half, actually, because especially if they're just running the ball and try to kill the clock, they get that end zone work. He's going in. Again, just trying to check out some of the comments that could possibly be going on here. I want to make sure we didn't miss anybody's comments. We're not exactly the most crafty with that, but we could be offering some help to some people. So hopefully,
comments are a little chill now. There were a couple people checking in there. Shout out to E. Aubrey.
let's go.
Yeah. So
Well, thanks for people for checking in.
yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, that's about
Uh,
all I got for this regular episode. Again, if you want to pull up some from the D-Rocks page, again, we'll talk about the betting special that's going on later. I just got a graphic for what the betting special is, and then we'll explain a little bit about D-Rock here for a second. And hopefully people can tune in for that. We're trying to branch out, do a little different. Me and Brian, we're not professional gamblers. I wouldn't say we bet all the time. I throw darts for fun. Brian probably
Yeah.
throws even less darts
Less
than me.
starts.
But again,
yeah, so here's the graphic NFL primetime betting special, that fantasy show with D-Rock's Lock. So if you tuned in last year for the Super Ultra Mega Football Special show, we featured a couple gambling friends of ours on that one, and we're bringing one of them back Sunday at 4. That's today, if you didn't notice. Today's Sunday, 4 p.m. That's today on the YouTube. If you're out there and you haven't liked and subscribed yet, don't forget to do that.
yeah, the subscribing helps, and then it helps us reach a broader audience because we can only do so much with the subscribers that we have. And again, partnering with D-Rock here, the guy knows his stuff, Brian. I follow this guy regularly.
Bit of a hot streak, hence the fire going on.
Yes, he's
I'd
had a
say.
run where he hit about 20 out of 25. Then he had, a pretty mid day or two. And then he went on fire again and fired off 10 out of 11. Yesterday, he cashed yesterday on a pretty max bet. And again, we'll get into that later on the special. But again, the guy knows his stuff, and he's going to possibly be a regular contributor to the show here and there because obviously we want to look to experts. We're going to tell you what we think to bet on, but these guys take it serious. He's doing his homework, and that's what you want. Again, if you want to take a look at betting as an investment and not just fun, there's money to be made out there. Obviously, it's trendy right
I'm going
now.
to stick to the fun part of it. That's just me.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be doing this every day. That's
You got a problem. There's the hotlines. I'm sure you've
Yeah.
heard it before.
But for Sundays, there's some money to be made. You can have some fun, and
Don't
then
back your
obviously
rent.
tonight it's going to be an exciting one. Again, D-Rock knows his stuff. He's hot. We're just going to pick his brain a little bit, and then John Stockton, just to talk him up a little bit. One of the owners
John
in
Stockton.
the Closing with Steve Dynasty League, and
Heard of that guy before.
and the guy knows his stuff too. He's had a up and down run, but obviously he's a trustworthy source for sports betting information. So excited
Okay.
to pick those
Sports
guys'
betting
brain.
Information.
Yeah.
We'll have the analysts here.
Yeah.
They're the ones in the trenches doing the work with the betting. So
And
we'll
going
get
over
yeah.
a big game. How about that game, Chiefs Lions? That's a pretty
excited.
big game.
I don't know.
Lot of
I think the
implications.
Chiefs are falling from grace. If that's just me, I don't want to see voodoo magic going on to get them resurged for the playoff. The
No
conspiracy
Chiefs
theories is the NFL pushing for them? They're good for business with the Swifties, but man,
I'll be honest, bro. I
Let's take the
feel
L's. Give
this
them
is
the
a
L's.
Chiefs Chiefing game tonight. I feel like there's going to be some stuff happening because the Lions are going to be fine. They're going to coast their way to
Dan
the
Campbell,
playoffs and what they got to do.
he's got a wheelbarrow for his you know what. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be swanging today.
But these Chiefs they're in must-win situations, which they're usually not in this area. I mean, with the way the Chargers are playing this year, Denver's not too bad themselves. They can't just coast through the regular season no more. They got to show up every week. So, exciting game. Obviously, two of the top quality teams of the
Yeah.
NFL right now.
Hey,
too.
if it's a one-score game, give it to the Lions because the Chiefs aren't pulling those off this year. If you've seen last year, they had a historic year in one-score games, just win them all. This year, they're 0-4 on the one-score games. So keep it that way, and we'll be screaming forward down the field. So
yeah, and trust me, I don't want to see the Chiefs win. I'm just trying to be logical here
I know.
because
I am not logical.
I feel like every time we think they're going down, that's when something crazy happens and they win, and then they act
Don't
like,
speak
"Oh
that
yeah, we
into
were
existence.
supposed to
Take
win."
it back.
But
Take it back.
but anyway, yeah. So that about wraps up what I
Yeah.
got for this week, Brian. How about you?
I'm good, man.
We nailed it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Efficient show this week.
Yeah. I just good luck
Yeah.
to everybody out
Yeah.
there. Like I said, pivotal week. This is gonna be where after this it starts getting not fun if you're not good.
Yeah.
And
Redraft league. If you're not don't pick up a win yet, you might lose focus. So
yeah, and your anxieties are up if you're on the cusp of a playoff here. You got to make some good moves. So always pay attention to the waiver wire, like Brian said. Always pay attention to your own roster and injury news. If a guy's going to be ruled out at the last minute on Sunday, there was probably some hints about this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You should have got
Yeah.
prepared a little bit earlier.
you should have known the injury designations out there.
Uh,
There's a little flag there in most of the apps to tell you what's going on. You get the update. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
Pay
that
attention.
happens is your responsibility. Whether that's this or even being late to a draft time. You're responsible for every part of the league here, and hopefully everything shakes out for you. And I said that's about all I got for this week, Brian.
that's a week. All right. We'll catch y'all at 4. Don't forget to tune in.
Man, see you on that special, guys. Thanks, everybody. Good night.